Ladies and gents, welcome. We've got some African clearing action. So a Nomad start. These players don't start with a TC. And I'm I'm laughing because I think Blue's a little confused. I saw movement on the minimap from Red right away. It's taken Blue a moment to find these villagers. The villagers do start a little bit spread out. Where will the players choose to go? This is a pretty fun map. Is T-Boss here in the blue going to be the Legend of Corner Boy Part 3 for me? Because Corner Boy hasn't been playing the game for a bit. Still walking around, still waiting. Now, rule number 1 of Nomad is try and place your TC in the first 30 seconds. I know that sounds brutal, but the longer it takes you to build a TC, the less villagers you're going to have. So just get one up. And on this map, building it on the food makes a lot of sense, or the wood. So I don't know what Blue's looking for, but Blue's really thinking about it. Blue's like, man, normally I don't have the choice on where to build a TC, but now I get a choice, and there's too many options. T-Boss, for the love of God, make a town center. You don't need this much exercise. Where are you going? T-Boss. You know, Red is building the TC on the stone and the wood. Now, that is a TC I would not consider to be good, but it's going to prove my point. Oh my God. Guys, this is what happens when there's a ranked queue and some players favorite certain maps and the other players have never played them before. Where are we going, T-Boss? T-Boss. Walking around. T-Boss is so indecisive. He's like, no, I don't know about that or this. Some people just need to play standard so they don't have the choice. Oh my God, we could have placed this 6 hours ago, T-Boss. All right. Well, T-Boss has started with the town center. T-Boss, hey, probably feels good about it. All right, can we respect that? Because it took T-Boss long enough. I'm sure T-Boss is feeling pretty good. Now, T-Boss probably doesn't know the things we know, that now T-Boss should be behind in villagers. Let's see how Red does, okay? Now, again, I think on this map, T-seeing the food source of the shorefish is really good. Or T-seeing the outer wood could be really good. Those would probably be my favorite options. But, like, now Red is the 2 villager lead. So those are 2 villagers that can collect resources and build things and do all these different things. And that should only grow. Now, it's so fun, man. We've got so many people watching now on Twitch, and people are scared to chat, you know, and that their grandma's going to see it on Facebook. So, you know, people are speaking their minds. And there's always someone, hey, free llama, by the way, exciting times. There's always someone that's like, game's over now. Well, think about it. We are at an ELO where you can have indecisive T-Boss walk around the map and not decide to build a town center for quite some time. Are we not also then at an ELO where this type of player can come back and not be punished in the same way? I would say so. Now, the pressure is on Birdseed 1972. Now, when I look for games, I look for Civ matchups, I look for maps, I look for their ELO and their rank, obviously. But I also look for names, and T-Boss and Birdseed 1972. This is like middle-aged dad 1v1 written all over it with these usernames. These usernames were created in the early 2000s, all right? They just were. And I guess, like, Birdseed 1972, like, maybe this is a container of birdseed that is 50-something years old. That could just be the birth year of birdseed here. So it could be 51, maybe. I don't know. Could be some other reason for it. But 3 villager lead for Birdseed 1972, not bad. And Birdseed clearly is the player who favorited this map, in my opinion, right? Made the TC fast, also has made the mill on the shorefish. This is something that's pretty unique. I'd be surprised if we see T-Boss do that at all here. And T-Boss playing this very much standard, but is scouting with this 1 sheep, which isn't bad. Holy crap! Gifted sub from Mongoose is, not a gifted sub from Mongoose. Mongoose with a $50 donut says, happy you are back. Got gifted a sub in the return landslide. So here you go, my man. Okay, well, Mongoose, the sub is not $50. So I hope you realize that. Maybe if you added an extra 0, let me know. I can refund it, but I appreciate it if that was how much you intended to send my way. Oh, God. Okay, T-Boss is fine. T-Boss is on top of it here, guys. And T-Boss is going to kill the elephant. But think about the start. T-Boss built the TC, has taken sheep, is now getting the elephant, has 3 on wood. This is similar to what T-Boss knows from normal maps, I'm guessing. Whereas over here, Birdseed has, branched out a little bit more. And is playing a little bit more nomad, a little bit more adaptive. That said, there needs to be food underneath the TC for these villagers here. Mongoose says, nah, man, all good. All right, well, hey, thank you. Polly, thank you for the 2 years of subbing. Welcome back. I feel the difference isn't that big because Blue's done a good job producing fills. We're going to have a mill here on the zebra. Not bad at all. Now, there's no scout on this map, so it's going to be hard to find the enemy. Pretty crazy, man. 600 elo still scouting with sheep. It's wild. Doesn't look like... I think one of Blue's villagers started here. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Blue did lose a sheep over here, so Blue's thinking about it. Should know Red is in that location. Red... Again, I think this was a starting vill, and I think this was a starting vill. I don't think Red knows where the enemy is. Now, this is something that Red might not be used to, but... If you place a mill next to shorefish, the villagers automatically start collecting the fish. But if you make a mill next to deer, you have to task them to the deer or the zebra, right? So that's happening. Ooh, Korean villagers have more line of sight, though. Look how much she can see. Everybody else, there's no, modern technology. There's no glasses. There's no contacts. There's not even bifocals. But Korean villagers, maybe because of all the fish... have great eyesight. It could be what it is. Not bad. Looking for more sheep, maybe. I like it. Hey, Cribbles, thank you for the 15 months. It says, ouch, only 15 months sub after 3 years. It's okay. You still were one of the first subs, Cribbles. You still have the founder badge, which I think only 10 people get or something. Which means you were one of my first subs back when I got partnership, which was 7 years ago or something. All right, lumber camp here from Blue. I was wondering if Blue was ever going to place one. Another elephant right next to the shoreline here. Let's check resources collected this game. Resources collected. Red has way more. Whew. But I still think it is within reason for Blue to come back because Red's not really spending the wood right now. Ideally, you'd be spending that wood on more mills to get more food or building farms or something. This villager did find a sheep. But that was about it, so... I'm old. Was that 7 years ago? Yeah, I think it was October of 2016. So, for people who hear that and don't really realize what that means. So, back when I got partnership, there was less than 1,000 Twitch partners. Now I think there's 150,000. There's no affiliate or anything like that. Back when I started streaming on Twitch, there was a 1.5-minute delay between what I would do and say and what the viewers would see. So if you go back far enough to some of the streams that have chat on screen, I would make a joke, right? And obviously you guys, what are you going to do if I tell a really funny joke? Chat, demonstrate, please. Demonstrate. Please demonstrate. Okay, there's no... Okay, laughter, yes. So imagine... You laugh immediately when you hear the joke, but I'm already talking about something very serious 1.5 minutes later. So then I become self-conscious and I'm like, oh God, did I make a mistake? Did I accidentally turn my camera on? I don't have a shirt on. Oh no. It was very different back then. And in order to get partnership, listen to this. In order to get a sub button where Twitch would take half the money, just because the platform was so small back then. This was pre-Amazon acquisition and everything. You would average 500 viewers over 30 days. Average it. You couldn't peak. You had to average 500 viewers. I did that for 6 months and was still getting denied partnership. It took a lot, man. I only got partnership when I started to average 800 or 900 and went over 1,000 a couple times. And here we are. So yeah, that was 7 years ago. Pretty crazy that happened 7 years ago. I know that it happens. I lived it. But that's wild to me that the support was like that long ago. And still is as crazy as it is. So thank you guys. All right. So both players about to hit feudal age here. Both players thinking about castle age. Red is thinking about a castle. Red's been all over this stone. Has 700 stone and isn't even in feudal age yet. Sheesh. Food eco here should be solid. Farms will eventually go up, so that will help. I don't know. Is she just still scouting? Okay, so this is the next scouting villager. And blue has more food income, but needs the gold. And then red has the gold and the stone. Well, you don't need stone for the next stage, but still has gold and stone, but doesn't have the food. So it's pretty even. Kashdai, thank you. This 1890, it's pretty much been 4 years that I found your YouTube videos and Twitch. Since then, many tournaments have happened. I watched you on Facebook. Had the pleasure of meeting you in person in Heidelberg. See you back on Twitch is a blast. I'm looking forward to what the future holds. Keep doing what you do best. Love you, man. Thank you, Kashdai. Hearts in chat, please, for Kashdai. Yeah, I did get to meet Kashdai and put a face to the username in Heidelberg. I forget if it was the first Red Bull land or the second, but either way, I remember that. Archer range for blue. Could go for a blacksmith or market after that to have the buildings to go up to the next age. Red is now behind by 3 villagers, guys. And look at red, though. I love the scouting from red. I actually would encourage you. I think it's worth it to go for a stable build if you can make a stable. And just make 1 scout on this map. You can't do that if you're Incas, but like you could make an eagle scout. I think it's worth it. And villager just has a net. This is a man of peace. And this man of peace is just wandering around looking for friendship. And the bell has been rung. And TCs can't hit anything. Thankfully for the villager. But it will hit now and the villager dies. And that is first blood. And this is where our story begins. Because Birdsea 1972 really liked that villager. And that villager was beloved by many. It was the most trusted villager in the town. That's the whole reason he was out there. He's the only one who had the courage to walk around with that net and go scouting like that. Well, okay, no, there's a sheep. This is that villager's sheep. He even parted ways with the sheep. But now Birdseed is angry. And Birdseed is still not clicked up to the next stage, which makes me very sad because this is kind of ruining our plot points, but Birdseed's going to figure it out. Dang. Surfinite, thank you, says, did anyone stay subbed on Twitch the whole time you were at Facebook? I had Twitch partnership for like 10 months, maybe 12 months while I was at Facebook, so I've had about 300 people stay subbed. I'd even like come and see the resub messages from time to time. But it also would make sense to not subscribe on a platform I'm not streaming on. But a lot of people just either wanted to get more of their sub streak because some people view the whole sub badge as like a race, you know, or it was just a means to support. So it was more like 14 months. Yeah, I don't remember exactly how much. I just remember when they notified me via email. It was like, hey, we see you're not streaming anymore, so we're going to remove your partnership. I thought that was funny when I had contacted them legally. For the love of God, Birdseed, get the wood for the buildings. Birdseed is in this infinite loop of hell with wood. I got the wood upgrade, but then had to spend a little bit of wood for that and still doesn't have the wood for a market. I think we all can relate when you're so close to getting the wood. There it is. No! Mining camp! This is Loey the Legends. Like, honestly, at the start, Blue looked like someone who didn't know what he was doing. Now Blue looks like a god. Well, a semi-god, not a demigod. And, you know, Red just struggling to get those buildings up. And I think their starts were actually both so good that I forgot we were talking about 600 elo. So I've got to tone it down a little bit. Blue makes it to Castle Age. Red gonna make that market there, and that, you know, like, look at the resources Red will have after Castle Age is clicked. That was why my anxiety was ramping up a little bit. But hey, mining camp will work for the stone and the gold. Little inefficient for both, but that's low elo for you. And wood was an issue for red, so it makes sense to try this. And red is going to click up to Castle Age. Boom. All right. Pacific Prodigy, thank you for the prime. But yeah, I also had people, like, guys, I had people who were subbed to me for 4 years here. Then I left. They subbed to me for 2 straight years on Facebook. And then I've seen the resub messages since I've come back, which is insane. It's just insane that has happened. So, I mean, that's rare, right? People get busy. People forget about content. People get burned out of content. People move on to this. People get tired of looking at my farms or get tired of different things. You know, things change, and that's normal. But it's been a lot of dedicated supporters throughout the years. Didn't know you could sub on Facebook? Well, I did mention it. And 100% of the sub came towards the creator, but you couldn't do it from a page, right? So you'd have to do it from, like, your main Facebook, which a lot of people didn't like. So does Blue have any idea the enemy is out there? Not really. Score is very close. Castle's going to go up here from Blue, so Blue may be a little bit concerned about the long term. Monastery's up. We will see a monk go get a relic here, I imagine. And, ooh, it's going to be the far relic first, potentially. And that relic is close to where red is. They almost got me for a 25th month of Facebook. Because my cancel didn't go through right away. Got it. Well, I mean, it's still... So, I'm going to post on Facebook about it in, like, a week or two. But basically, I still do get that. Like, until they remove my partnership, if you wish to get 100% of the money towards me, that is still a way to do it. But obviously, I'm not streaming there anymore, so yeah. Lots of stone here for birdseed. All right, this is really random, but I want to see if anyone out there is going to get this. So, again, when I see these names, I think of, like, maybe older players. I could be completely wrong on that. Birdseed 1972, though, just kind of took me back a little bit. There was this... I don't know if it was a comedian per se, but there was this group. Okay? They did, like, prank calls. And they did one about birdseed. Most of you guys are going to have no clue what I'm talking about. Does anyone happen to know who that was? I remember the name, but I don't want to spoil it. Yeah, Atomic knows. Jerky Boys. Yeah. Okay, I don't know who Crank Yanker is. They might have done one as well. But I'm remembering a Jerky Boys phone call where they called this place trying to buy birdseed. And they're just doing like a fake voice. Yeah, of course it was you, Atomic. We're so old. Oh, man. Okay, all right. Hold on. Since we have the time, right? Since we have the time. So, I used to burn CDs on my brother's computer when he would go to work. He showed me how to burn CDs, and then he said, don't use my computer while I'm at work. And it was like, what do you think I'm going to do? So, obviously, I burned CDs. So, a lot of my, like, music taste, a lot of the stuff I listened to was stuff from my brother's computer, okay? And I also played Age of Empires a bit on his computer as well. But mainly I played Worms, and I played Serious Sam. If you don't know Serious Sam, it's like, here, let me try. Can I do this with my mic? It's like, I can't even do that. Hold on. How do I do the yelling? It's like, as these guys are running at you with bombs. Yeah. Okay. So anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. So I used to burn CDs. And so a lot of the music I listened to, like Stained is one of my favorite groups of all time. Like Fuel is so freaking good. You guys are going to laugh because it's like cool to make fun of Nickelback on the internet for some reason, which is so stupid because they're actually not my favorite group ever, but Nickelback actually have like at least a dozen bangers. Nickelback. What else? A lot of grungy stuff. I'm trying to think. Anyways, so I would do that, right? Also, I downloaded a bunch of Monk's Gonna Die. Monk's Gonna Die. This is revenge for the villager that died with the net earlier. We have Third Blood. I also download comedy, okay? And because you'd have a bunch of comedy. And sometimes it wasn't even titled, so I didn't know what I was downloading. So there was the Jerky Boys Birdseed Call, and I remember listening to that on my CD player. But then there was also the old Bud Light commercials, which I encourage you guys to look up. Not now, obviously. This is amazing content. Don't click away. What are you doing? But like the Bud Light Presents Real American Hero commercials were so funny. Yeah, the Real Men of Genius. Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius. And then it's like, Real Men of Genius. It's like, here's to you, Mr. Pickled Pig's Feet Eater. It's so good. I gotta stop now because we have an Age of Empires game and Red is making a bunch of walls and this is gonna turn into an actual game here. But I hope I'm taking some of you back. And how did we get started on this? Oh, Birdseed, the guy's name, of course. Of course. Okay. Sheesh. I'm getting all excited here. T-Boss might have took a long time to decide on the destination for the original TC, but T-Boss is booming like a madman. 60 villagers, 3 town centers, 2 relics. The farming eco is really good as well, because farm count is an indicator of skill, I would say. Impressive. Also could get relic number 3 over here, and does know where Red is located. Now, the core issue for Red has been Red likes stone, and Red doesn't really prioritize farms. It's just been the castle and the stone walls. But I also think the stone walls is pretty smart. There's a whole lot of resources behind this. Not bad. As someone says, dude, I was singing those commercials yesterday. Again, if you've never seen those, some of them are hilarious. It's like, one of the quotes is like, for the Pickled Pig's Feet Eater, it's like, knowing all you know about pigs and where they live and what they step in. You look at those pickled paws and say, yummy. And of course, it's like the super epic announcer voice. Oh, I love it. Hilarious stuff. This is what happens at low elo, though, when we're just chilling. And Birdseed is focused a lot on defense. It does have the resources to maybe go Imperial Age here. Isn't spending near as much on food as blue is, because we're not seeing 3 town center production. And war wagons don't cost food, and you also get the armor upgrades in each age for free with the Koreans. So I could see how the war wagons and maybe some trebs could do something before blue is prepared for that. Red is going to wall around the pond, which is smart thinking, actually. Because I could see some players not doing that. Castle's going to go up here. Castle is here. Gate is here. Double gate, actually. All right. And I'm now a little concerned for Red. Because now Red is producing villagers out of 2 TCs, but doesn't have the farming eco for it. So all that food is going to slowly disappear, perhaps. Blue going to drop castle number 2. Good defensive positions for Blue's castles. It could easily be castle number 3 here as well. Inca castles are cheaper, so. T90, I used to burn DVDs on Napster and sell them to friends at school. Really? Okay, but what was your price? I want to know how much of a businessman you were. I never sold CDs. I did burn them for people though, because I'm a nice guy. I didn't charge people. What are you doing, Blaine? FBI has entered the chat. Oh, that's true. No, I just knew a guy who did that. Nice to see you, Lane. Why are people lighting their CDs on fire? I hope you're joking, Burns Alive, and I hope you're not like 18 and don't know what a burn CD is. I feel like I got a good mix of experiences when it comes to the rise of technology. So like super old video games. I remember Walkmans. I remember no skip CD players. I remember when the original CD player skipped on the school bus. MP3 players. Yeah, man. Cav Archer's now for Red as well. They are a bit cheaper for the Koreans, so I guess that's something. But blue is on the way to the Imperial Age, and I think T-Boss is going to dominate this one as long as T-Boss builds up a sizable force of something. You don't want to make archers against Koreans. Koreans have good counters to archers, so going Kameyokes would make sense with these castles. Maybe we could see Elite Eagle Warrior. This is the most 90s kid stream on Twitch, lol. My analytics say that. A lot of people, like my average audience is between the age of 25 and 45. Like that's like 60% or 70% of my audience. Listen to this. I have more people watching my YouTube over the age of 65 than I do under the age of 18. Isn't that crazy stat? Considering it's video games. More over 65 than below the age of 18. So basically what that means is you guys better not leave me, okay? Because none of the new kids like me. Corner boy TC for red. This is funny. Blue has had this monk here forever. I think blue's just forgotten about it. And we got scouts now from red as well. Red sheep is a spy. Has located the enemy houses. That's funny. This game has been fun. We have fabric shields coming in that's going to add armor to the eagles and the Kameyokes for T-Boss. But we don't see those units out on the field yet. So T-Boss taking some time. My 8-year-old niece has shown interest in the game, but there's still hope for the future. Nice. Yeah, I got a text from my sister recently that said that my nephew asked her how old he has to be to play the game that Uncle Tristan does. And I'm like, I can get him a key. I can get him the game. And that's cute. But also, as someone who's sunk so much time into this game and got lucky, I'm like, I'm a little concerned he's going to become a massive tryhard like me, you know? And try and, like, follow in my footsteps. I would not recommend it. It's like giving a kid drugs, lol. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, stick to Minecraft. No, I think I'm going to play the game with him. I want this first experience to be when I'm, like, playing the game with him. Like, maybe doing the campaigns or something, obviously. I was also told, like, just give it to him on the Xbox, but I refuse. I refuse to let that be his first experience on the game. Even though that is possible, there's nothing wrong with it. I feel like the PC experience is the experience. Back in my day, we walked uphill both ways. With our trackpads. I don't know. Isn't it funny how things balance out in this game, right? Like, red had the lead. You're just thinking, oh my god, red's going to do so good. Then blue gets a massive lead. Has had the massive lead. But blue's not exactly pushing. Blue's chilling. This is just a big old build-up. Reminding me of when I first started playing the game back in the day. They both have skills. Like, 600 elo going up to 100 villagers is really nice. Getting all these upgrades, really nice. But they're not in any rush here. This is going to be maybe one big fight to end the game. Don't forget the son of Resbu T90. Yeah, that's true. Got my father Definitive Edition a few years ago for Christmas because he played it when I was a kid. He started to watch you in your tournament since then. That's so cool. I love that. Yeah, the stories of, like, people coming together because of the content and because of the game are some of my favorite stories. So, I have a funny story from my Australia meetup I did 3 months ago now. So, at the end of the meetup, people could get in line, come up, take photos, watch me sign a horrible autograph for them, things like that, right? And I just got to, you know, meet people who've been watching the content who were from Australia. And a couple came up to me. And the guy was kind of shy. And his wife was really the one who spoke the most. And she was like, hi, T90. She's like, my husband showed me, like, used to watch your videos. And I used to be so annoyed with them or something. And she was like, but then I really got hooked. And I play the game too. And she's like, now I beat him in every single game that we play. And this guy, I don't think he was too happy that, like, he got to meet one of his heroes, right? And then his wife just straight up dissed him like that right there on stage. But that's what happened. And he was like, yeah, she does. And he just kind of looked down a little bit. I was like, man, that was savage, lady. Don't do him like that. But yeah, like they talked about how they, you know, would play games against each other and then team with each other and things like that, which is really cool to hear. So, way to go calling me out in front of whole chat. Was that you, Turbo? I didn't say the name. Now, if it was you, I don't think it was you. I don't remember usernames. It wasn't you? Okay, I was going to say you just made yourself the target. All right. Blue, if you could make Trebs and push right now, times would be epic for you. 15,000 more resources. I have to sneeze. Okay, it is passed. Red has fortified wall. Red does not know what the opponent will make, but that is not what you think about at this rank. You make your favorite unit, your best unit, and you wait until you're ready. But I think Elite Eagles and Elite Kameyuks, the only thing that I could see from Birdseed to stop that would be heavy gunpowder, and Birdseed still isn't in the Imperial Age. Is possible Red doesn't know. I actually am going to predict that Red thinks that Imp is already happened. I could be wrong, though. Oh my goodness. Is anyone else getting jealous of these players with all these castles and all this time? Look at these castles. There's resources everywhere on this map. The Korean militia line is not the best, but they do get champion with full armor. I really think hand cannon would be the #1 thing that comes to mind. Hey, there we go. Red stonks in chat for Red. He's on his way up. And wait, which TC is he? Ah! So we build the walls, we fortify, and then we go Imperial Age in the TC that's outside the walls. Okay. I'm going to assume... Guys, listen. We can laugh. We can have our fun. Red will think about it next time. But how many times do you think Red has got rushed and lost the Imp TC? Probably hasn't happened before. I hope Blue doesn't see it, though. I really hope Blue doesn't see it. No! Blue can see it! Also, Blue's Monk here. What happened to that relic? Oh, Red got that relic. Blue's Monk sees this. And Blue is fully pop-capped right now. Red does not know too much about what Blue is planning on here. Oh my god, it's like every low elo game, we're seeing Caravan or Coinage these days. Again, made a video on it. Check it out. Most confusing text in AoE2. You need to watch it because people just... They're clicking any tech that has gold on it, thinking that will give them gold. Caravan makes your trade carts work faster. But this is a 1v1, so spending gold on that is not necessarily the best. Yep, call the baby. There's Coinage. We want gold, baby. There's a coin. Clicking the gold coin, clicking a tech that has Coinage on it must be good. That's the logic. But if you sit there and you read the description, that reduces the tax when you send resources to an ally. Unfortunately, there's no allies here. So that tech does not do that. Oh, no. Oh, we made it to Imp. Calculated, baby. Calculated from Red. And the town bell's been rung, which is kind of funny because the bell doesn't get heard with the other areas of the TC. And wow, that is a lot of units. Kameyuks are an insane unit too. Because they have one tile range, so they can stack against things. Red, don't open the gate. No! No! Traitor scouts! Traitor scouts! I knew something was up. Poof, okay. The scouts had opened the gate. Blue, I think, saw the castle, though. Didn't realize that the scouts were going to let him in. And Red, I don't even know if Red's paying attention to this, but now Red's noticing this, and Red is going to click away. Red should get completely stomped here. Like, you'd need to have, like, 60 wagons and maybe some siege support to have a chance. Also, Red chopped the tree here. So there was trees here before, which is why when Red placed the walls, there's no wall. But Red's villager, at one point, chopped the tree. So there is a hole there. Red isn't ready yet. Red is used to joining those lobbies that says 60-minute no attack, and it's still only 58 minutes. Red is getting university technologies and hoping to have time here. Blue's making trebs. This is a problem. These war wagons are not elite either. Oh, man, the lack of blacksmith technologies is so rough. But wait, Birdseed noticed, and Birdseed's going to rewall it. Well done, Red. I have no doubt that if Red wasn't under pressure right now, that Red would get the techs and Red would be able to fight, but it's like Red isn't prepared for this yet. And has 11k gold. Now, that might seem like a lot, and obviously that is a lot. But think about it from Blue's perspective. Blue spent 7,000 resources on this army. Blue still got 41 on gold with 7k gold in the bank. All right, well, now here's another one. Now we have Heated Shot coming in, so let's explain this one. This is just low elo legends in a nutshell. I also in my freaking video. Heated Shot, you'd think it does what chemistry does, because chemistry adds fire to arrows, and you're like, oh, okay, I want fire arrows. What does fire give off? Well, it gives off heat. What happens when you fling an arrow out of a castle? You're shooting it. Heat, fire, fling, shoot, heated shot. That does the fire thing, right? No, it doesn't. It chemistry does. Heated shot increases the amount of damage your towers and castles do versus ships, and there will not be navy here. Oh, look at the cameos protect so beautifully with their little feathered pokers. 4 trebs as well. Well done there, and Red is in big trouble. Red queued up Elite War Wagon, but it is behind the war wagons. And these cameos are going to feast. And this is Red panicking. Poor Red sees the trebs, is worried, and just clicked the treb there to go kill it. And Blue did not trickle treb. So Blue, smart with that. 4 trebs minimum when you move forward to surprise the enemy. I like that. And Blue's ready to go here. And in a game where Blue took so much time to start that with that town center, everything else has been great since. And Birdseed doesn't know what to do. Birdseed isn't ready. We are seeing a player panic here. To be fair, though, cameos are nuts. Like, cameos are one of the best units in the game if you can get a big mass of it. The only thing Koreans could realistically make here and have any chance is a lot of gunpowder, which is really not something a lot of low elo players are even aware of. Hand cannons. And then, like Siege. Siege in combination with some other things. Bonk. I love this. He's doing the guard or defend action. So the cameos and the eagles are circling around the trebuchets. And here are a couple scorpions. Now, Koreans don't get heavy scorpion. And that is something that a lot of you guys probably didn't even know, because it feels like every civ gets heavy scorpion. But I remember that from the old days, Koreans not getting it. And yeah, this is... We've all been there, right? You click the knights in towards the trebs because you feel like the only way you can survive is if you have time. And so this is just snowballed out of control here for Birdseed. Birdseed could be 51 years old. According to the elo we see here. Tried to add the walls to have time. But Blue with a perfect push here. 90 army. And the gates are slowly going down as well. Now, the Scorpions will slowly help. But they're just regular old non-chemistry Scorpions here. Remember, at the start of the game... Actually, there's a hole there, Blue. Okay. Well, Blue just clicked everything on the gate. The gate will go down in no time. At the start of the game, people thought it was game over. But in low elo lands, that's not how the game works. Look at these cameos go. Oh my goodness, it's a rave. Oh my goodness. Poor Red. Red is contemplating resigning, but 3 weeks ago left a comment on one of my videos that said, how does someone resign with 10k gold? And is unsure on if he should resign. Just kidding. Obviously, I don't know if Red actually did that, but it feels bad, of course, to resign with over 10k gold. But unfortunately, there's no way to stop this. And Birdseed might be a little frustrated, might be a little disappointed with how things go. Drops the well-played GG. And T-Boss gives the GG back. Nice and respectful here at this rank. things to learn from, right? Things to work on. Koreans are tricky. They're a tricky civ to play, but I think overall the economy from Blue and Castle Age was just insane. Do you remember that point in the game where I was getting a little bit stressed out because Red wasn't clicking up to Castle Age? That's what hurt Red here. Because the economy was better for Red, and then the Castle Age time, there's a 4-minute difference. By the time Red made it to Castle Age, Blue was already on 3 town centers producing vills. And that's a key part of the game. Red eventually did the same, of course, but did so much later, and then Blue was an imp for much longer and banked up resources and then was able to make the army. And Blue... It's like if Red had 5 more minutes, I think Red sorts it out and is fine and has lots of production buildings. But, yeah, troublesome times there. People want to see the research percentage. The research percentage was higher for Birdseed because of heated shot, because of caravan, and because of coinage. There you go. Hey, I heard once that all that matters in a game is the research percentage. So if that's the case, well played, Birdseed. You won the game. Thank you for the memories as well, Birdseed. Your name made me think of Jerky Boys, which made me think of the old Bud Light commercials, which were hilarious.